Alexander Velasquez. I'm 28 years old. My Instagram is KANAGAWA Hearts. I'm from Pomona, California, born and raised. And I've got a couple of beat up old Toyotas. If we're being really honest, I've been in the cars since I was born. We used to do a lot of work with chrome plating and for hot rods and lowriders and stuff. We did a lot of third-party business. So I was always around cars growing up. Later on in life, when I was pretty young, I found Initial D, and that was basically it for the whole drifting and like import thing for me. Obviously, I've got Corollas now, which have ruined my life, but yeah, that's basically what kickstarted everything for the whole drifting thing. That addiction, basically. Yeah. The Corolla, it's a low-powered little car. It's a piece of crap, if we're being honest. These cars are just fucking tin cans. They're just meant to have fun with. 4AGs are really simple. I've been playing with them for almost a decade now. So yeah, it's just a really simple built Corolla. Got a powered by max suspension. I have the new motor inside of the car right now is just a stock 4AG. Yeah, it's about as simple as it gets. And then I've got the CRESSIDA. This has got a 1JZ VVTi. IRS suspension in the rear, just a simple suspension setup on it. I'm still on steering box. I do not have a rack and pinion. Keep that shit as old school as possible. Gotta keep that grandpa feel to it, you know what I mean? Full interior, leather seats, all the homies inside, go drifting with it. It's the fucking best, dude. And then the 240 that I have, that's just a daily. Don't touch it, don't drift it, don't do anything dumb with it. I think we're pretty lucky to be living in SoCal, because there's so much like to do out here for the automotive community, especially for drifting. There's so many different tracks you can go drive and different events every weekend. Like there's plenty of stuff to do out here. But I feel like the community is kind of divided up between like build a pro car or stick to strictly grassroots style stuff. And we should not have that big median in between each other. It should be more of a leveled field basically for everybody. There's too much of a big, division between everybody. Yeah. There's just too much ego these days, dude. That's the biggest problem. What's up? I'm just a goofy ass kid with a couple of beat up ass cars. That's it. No one special. There's nothing to gain from it. I've got all friends. That's all. It's friends and family. I try to keep it like that as much as I can. Try to be friends with basically everybody. There's no reason to have any kind of hate or any bullshit in between each other. You know what I mean? So keep it as cool as possible, basically. Yeah. We have Andy's Tires sleigh day coming up for New Year's. Honestly, just to keep the cars running and don't let them break down. That's basically it. Yeah, try not to get in any kind of trouble with the cops or whatever. I mean, I don't do anything stupid on the street, but it's just California being what it is. So yeah, it's doing my best to just not get in any kind of trouble. I've never been pulled over in this thing or this thing, but my 240 with a stock car, I've been pulled over like maybe 6 times in the last like 4 months. Yeah, it's a stock 240, but it gets pulled over more than anything else. I don't understand why. When this thing is like a big glitter bomb, like a unicorn farted on it, and this thing's a straight pipe 1JZ, but the cops don't look at these cars. They go after the stock 240 instead. Yeah, makes no fucking sense. I don't get that, dude. If you're trying to get into drifting now, all these cars you see in videos and stuff, and all the old Jap videos and all that stuff, the cars are getting really fucking expensive. They're really hard to get parts for and stuff, especially like an 86 or an old Cressida like this. You're better off getting something newer like an FRS or a Z. Honestly, it's just go out and have fun. You don't need any kind of power. Keep it simple and just try your hardest. That's all that counts. Drifting is not like it's not like an actual sport or a race. It's just go out and have fun. And that's what it should always be to the end of the day. But yeah, we have Andy's Tires Sleigh Day coming up. And if anybody wants to help me, I always need people helping me with the track, help me run it. Everybody's always, you know, at the track and hanging out and drinking beers. Well, you can drink a beer with me on the track and flag for a little bit. So I need all the help I can get. The last event was kind of wild. The ones before that have been gotten kind of crazy. So if you guys can help us out, you know, we much appreciate with the community. Please come help us. We're fucking dying out there. Yeah, please, yeah. I'll probably be going back to overseas maybe in April. Not 100% sure yet because the Olympics are gonna be going on next year and like the prices for everything's super expensive. So maybe not anytime soon. We'll see what happens though. I think I was 24 my first time I went, and I've just been going every year since then. I made a lot of friends my first year, and now it's not about going like on a vacation. It's more just like, it's like the same thing for me as just driving to like San Francisco, just go hang out with friends basically. It's just, you catch a plane and just go. That's all it is. The cars and stuff they're always fun. It's always fun being out there. The food, the beer, all the girls are cute, but you know, at the same time, we're there for, you know, basically just hanging out and just friends. Yeah. The drifting scene out there, it's pretty cool. It's pretty wild. I think we have a pretty cool one here in the States as well. I don't think people should glamorize and idolize people over there so much. There's quite a few really good drivers over here. But yeah, honestly, it's just, I think we should knock down that wall of being like, oh, these people on a pedestal basically of like how good they are. Dude, they're just the same as us over there. They're barely making it. They're barely affording tires. Like it's you know, the same bullshit over here and over there. The first time I was at Ebisu, super hyped up, and we get there and it's just this wild ass fucking like, it's just these crazy fucking drivers. A track is literally just this super dark fucking mountain basically. There's no lights anywhere except for a few places. It's basically like Grange. It's just run what you brung basically. It's pretty fucking wild. There's a lot of dumb shit that goes down there. A lot of like crazy drivers, but it's all for fun. And everyone's super respectful, and I wish there was more of that here in the States. We do have it, but there is a lot of people out there at the track here in the States who egos get in the way, you know, groups get in the way, teams, oh, you can't be friends with this person, you can't be friends with that person, this guy's car's not cool enough, this guy doesn't have certain parts on his car, so like it doesn't look cool. At the end of the day, dude, like it just doesn't really fucking matter. Just go drive your fucking car and just have fun. That's what it should be about at the end of the damn day. Yeah. Honestly, dude, like the only thing I gotta say is like, if you're gonna get into drifting, don't look at stuff like an 86 these days. Like I've said before, it's really expensive. The parts are hard to find. 240s are getting really expensive. Parts are hard to find. They're getting more and more expensive. It's hard to find a clean chassis these days. Most of them are beat to shit. And you're gonna overspend on something that's just not really worth it these days. So if you are gonna be getting into like actually driving and have a street car or just have an actual track car with no street use at all, I would look more to a newer vehicle. FRSs are fucking great. You've got Z's, you have Hyundai Genesis. There's quite a few cars out there that are rear-wheel drive, and there's plenty of them, and they're a lot of fun to drive. It's just, I think we don't turn to those basically is because we're still idolizing the old option videos and Drift 10 Goku stuff, and like we shouldn't be doing that as much because that was a different era basically. Those cars were cheap back then. They're not cheap now. You know, I'm not saying don't go buy a 240 and go put a fucking D-Max kit on it. It still looks cool. It's still a fucking great looking car. Origin wide body all day. Yeah, it looks fucking good at all times. But you know, I think the community needs to venture out a little bit more and not put people down like, oh yeah, like why are you driving a Z? Like it's fucking, the VQ motors are garbage. No, they're actually really good motors, and those cars are really good out of the box to go drive. Yeah. And that's what it should be about at the end of the day, is going and driving your car and just having fun. It doesn't matter if you got a hydro and 1,000 horsepower. You don't need that. You could have a 100 horsepower Corolla with the non-working handbrake and just go slide around the track and have fun. That's what it should be about. Yeah. Yep.